What up, Brix Squad? Welcome back to the channel. I have a very special guest today, and I'm excited. This is the first time we're doing a fancy setup. Y'all know how I get done. I'm transparent, and so this is exciting. We have 3 cameras today, so the production value is definitely going to be elevated today. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell, and also this is going to be kind of an introduction to the 1000 transformation series. That's the goal for 2019. We're going to facilitate 1,000 transformations, hopefully with the help of my guest today,
No doubt,
my man,
no doubt.
Mr. Jeremiah. If you guys are not familiar, my man has a phenomenal transformation story that I was super impressed with.
I appreciate that.
We met, I want to say 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
I think it was, about 2 weeks ago. Matter of fact, I'll let you tell the story.
Okay, bet. Yeah, so I was at the Y, and I saw you, and I was like, bro, he looked just like. But I was like, nah. I was like, no, he looked. I was like, nah, ain't no way. Because I just thought that you was like on the West Coast. In my mind, that's what I just thought. So I'm like, nah, ain't no way. And I was like, you know what? What's the worst that could happen? Just walk up to my man and ask him.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, you look just like this dude I follow on IG. And I just remember you saying, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
And I was just like, whoa, you know what I mean? Because I've been following you for a while, man, and just following your transformation, and it just blew my mind where you were and to see what you're doing now. So it was to see that. I was just anxious to meet you in person. I was like, whoa, like it was dope, man. So I was really excited about it.
Thanks, bro. So, and I thought you was a
athlete, right.
So, but then he shared with me basically that he had lost a lot of weight, and he showed me his picture, and I was blown away.
Right.
'Cause I'm always intrigued, or very interested in talking to people who have had similar transformation
like who's been there,
stories.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's not that many of us who achieve this, but I believe there's that everybody can do it.
Exactly.
With
no
the
doubt,
right guidance and support.
No doubt.
So what was your heaviest?
My heaviest, I was roughly just at 250, standing at 5'7".
So you're 5'7", and your heaviest was 250.
Right, and at that height, you don't necessarily go up, you go out. You know what I mean? So you don't got a lot of room to go up. You know what I mean? So you expand. So yeah, man, definitely.
So, all right, were you always heavy?
Yeah, man. Growing up, I remember being a kid, and I guess as a kid, you don't really know, like, oh, you're overweight, you're obese, so you kind of like walk around the house with your shirt off. But whenever my sisters, I have 5 older sisters, so whenever my sisters would bring friends over, I would run to the room to go get a shirt on. Yeah, that's when you know.
All of a sudden you knew that you was fat.
Right. So I'm like, okay, let me go put a shirt on real quick, or give me a 5-minute heads up so I can go do that. So yeah, man, it's something that I've always struggled with, for the greater part of my life.
So you're 5'7" and you were 250. So what year was it that you decided to take control of your health?
2014. March 1st, 2014 is when I made that decision.
March 1st.
2014. Yes, sir.
Bro, like my decision was made March 1st, 2013.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Wow. Like, I had no clue.
No doubt.
That's wow. That's the synchronicity is real.
Right.
All right. So on that day, right, what went through your mind? What made the light bulb go off? What made you snap and say, you know what, that's it?
Well, I mean, I guess I got to a point where I was just like, I was tired of losing, but just being like real the catalyst of it all. You were
tired of losing. What do you mean by that?
Losing, I was just tired of not seeing progression. Like it's obviously, 2014, the years before that, I tried multiple times. Like, I was trying so many different things. I tried like the raspberry ketone, and then this freaking, I just tried to, at one point, man, I tried to sleep in a plastic bag to sweat off the, just trying to, that saran wrap thing. Yeah. I tried all these different things and it just wasn't working. So I got to a point where I was tired of losing. But the catalyst was I was going through a serious transition in my life. I found out that my wife ex-wife now had an affair, and telling me things like, I don't want you, we're not there anymore. Yeah. And it broke me, man, just for real. Like it broke me. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was like, I don't know, 21. Yeah. In a foreign land. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, so I'm living in Hampton, Virginia.
Oh, man, it's a foreign land.
right. But yeah, so I'm just sitting there and I'm like, bro, what do I do next? And so I was just like, I'm gonna make her want me back. On some vanity stuff, but I was like, I'm gonna make you want me back. You don't want me now, but I'm gonna glow up, and then we gonna see what happened. And it worked. You know what I mean? But like I said, I can always say, like, it's a great thing that it worked. because it was proof to me that I could do it.
Yeah.
But I think it was a possibly a negative thing that it worked because the fuel that I used wasn't the best fuel.
And you're right about that. The fuel wasn't right, but it got you moving in the right direction.
Right.
And that's when the process started happening for you, right? So that's when, because I think any personal weight loss journey essentially turns into a personal development journey. Right. Any significant weight loss journey. Right. I mean, if you're losing 10, 15, 20 pounds, it just may be a weight loss thing for you. But I feel like for the people who lose 60, 70, 100 plus pounds, it transformed your life.
Right.
So you had the wrong fuel in the beginning, which is nothing wrong with that. Right. You feel what I'm saying? Because at that point, you just needed to get started. You needed to start moving in the right direction. All right, so what are some of the roadblocks that you ran into during your transformation?
Doubt. One of the heaviest things for me, man. Just because my entire family deals with being overweight or obesity. Mm-hmm. My dad, I had to watch my dad use a machine to go to sleep growing up because he had sleep apnea due to his weight. Just last year I lost my mom to type 2 diabetes. Because that's something she struggled with throughout my entire life. She had type 2 diabetes, man. So, I got nieces, nephews, sisters, everybody. So it's just like, what made me think that if everybody else struggles in this area, what made me think that I can do it? Like, who am I to say that? Yeah. And I would say doubt, and that honestly, man, that was probably because it just led into other things like consistency, struggling with perseverance. Mm-hmm. But it all, I think, really stemmed from a place of uncertainty and insecurity. So
most of your weight loss, right? What's the time period that it took place? Like, was it a year? Was it 2 years? Like, how long?
The most of it, I would say, that's crazy. I would say maybe about like 6 to 8 months of just like the bulk of it. And it blows my mind because over like 18 years of trying, and then 6 to 8 months later, you just see this transformation. Yeah. But it's the power of consistency, and like I said, just going after it. It's powerful.
So, and I know a lot of people get inspired when you tell them that, like, it took me 6 to 8 months to really lose most of the weight. And my story is the same, but also we were literally obsessed out of our minds, and it was a part of your destiny. I hate to use that whimsical word, but to sustain for you to find the consistency, for you to stick with it, because now you're passionate about sharing it with other people. Right. And I try to get rid of the timelines for people because it's not always going to take 6 months to lose.
It's different for everybody. Yeah, it's different for everybody.
So I think the most important part, and my audience knows I say this all the time, is to slowly change your habits. Right. So what are some of the ways that you were consistent? Like, why were you consistent enough to make it a lifestyle?
Man, after the whole thing of the divorce and everything like that, my family started to recognize it, and they started to see that, hey, you're making a shift, and it was just inspirational to them just to see me going after it consistently. And I just decided to just keep going with that, and just being real, like, all of a sudden, you got muscles, all of a sudden you got some abs coming in, so all of a sudden I'm starting to feel myself, and I was just like, man, let me just keep going with this, see how far I can take it. But there was a lot of, just being real, there's a lot of back and forth with it. There was times where I wasn't necessarily consistent. I see a little bit of weight come back on, and I'm like, well, let me get back on it. But for the most part, I just decided that it was my time to go after it and make it happen for me. So,
what was the most weight you gained back?
I would say maybe about 25 pounds, because I got down to about like 180, and then I jumped back up to like 205. So yeah.
So how did that feel when you got on the scale and you seen that you gained 25 pounds back?
I mean, I guess I was like, I started to revert back to my old thinking. Mm-hmm. Like, well, maybe not everybody, like, okay, I did it, or maybe not everybody's supposed to be fit, and there's other things to be happy about and excited about.
So you're trying to start justifying.
Right, and I think that's something that a lot of us do when we seem like we can't get past it, or we seem like we can't, keep it up. We just try to make other things more important when we're not really happy where we are. You know what I mean? And that's something that I was probably doing often.
So let me ask you this, because when your body changes, especially when it changes fast, there's a part of your mental that kind of lags behind, right? So what I mean by that is, like you look like a new person, people are treating you like a new person, but in your mind, like, and I'm speaking personally,
right.
In my mind, I was still fat Brix.
Oh my gosh, bro! I'm so glad you hit on that. I'm so glad you hit on that.
How did you deal with with that aspect of the transformation?
I was just being real. In some areas, I'm still dealing with it. You know what I mean? Because it's crazy. Sometimes I feel like I'm still, like Fat Jeremiah. You know, it's just like, I'm still like that dude. Like the people used to come flick my chest because I got boobs. You know what I mean? So I still look at that. But I would just, it's like you said, just the personal development. Just working on yourself mentally, not just physically, not just going to the gym and just beating yourself into submission, but working on yourself mentally and letting yourself know that it's okay to be proud of how far you come. It's okay to not relish in it or, get overconfident, but just to acknowledge that, you did this.
Yes, sir.
You, right? Like other people may have helped you and guided you, but you got to put in the work.
Absolutely.
And nobody else can do that for you. So you did this.
Absolutely.
And enjoy that and just allow that to lead you into, the greatness that awaits for you.
How important was it the control of your environment, right? So, like what you had in your house, the people you hung out with. So how did you deal with that sort of thing? Your environment.
Our environment was everything. Like growing up in Milwaukee, you don't really have like fresh markets or Whole Foods and stuff like that. You have Walmart and you have no shade against Walmart, but you have like basically we had 7 kids growing up. I have 5 older sisters and a younger brother, so we had to sacrifice quality for quantity. We had to make ends meet. So environment for me was crucial. I had to transition to, after coming here, I hung out with some friends and, we just partied all the time and, drank and ate whenever we wanted to, not really worried about sleep and things like that. But after I got with a couple of friends, we just made a transition to eating vegetarian. I ate vegetarian for a year. I think that was a major game changer for me. And we just started to be more health conscious and watching documentaries and things like that. So the people that I hung around with, your circle is crucial, man. Because if they're not like-minded, I'd say this, like, you're one individual. All right, so eventually the people you hang around with, one or two things will happen. Either you're going to adjust to what they're doing, or they're going to adjust to what you're doing. And it's the strength is in numbers. You know what I mean? So it's one of you, and it's multiple of them. So you got to be mindful of that. And I think that was a game changer for me.
And I wanted to make sure I mentioned that, man, because that is one of the most important factors in successfully being able to change your lifestyle.
Right.
Because, the cliche, you are the average of the 5 people you hang around most.
No doubt.
So
no doubt.
If they're not with it, as far as, making healthy eating choices and lifestyle choices, it's going to be very, very hard for you to climb up that mountain.
Right, if at all.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, did you ever think about having weight loss surgery?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I thought about so many different things, man, because I was just like, I knew I was at a point where I just didn't want to be there anymore.
Yeah.
So I thought about weight loss surgery. I thought about, what's that one? I can't think of it. I ain't but definitely consider weight loss surgery,
so,
man.
So, all right, what are some of the craziest, most drastic things you've ever done to try to lose weight in the past?
I definitely I stopped eating. You know what I mean? I just thought that, if I just don't, ignorance to the whole thing, but I figured if I don't bring in a lot of calories, then that makes sense. Like I'll lose the weight. So I cut my calorie intake drastically, but that messed me up.
Yes.
I think that another crazy thing that I did was, like I said, the whole wrapping yourself around the saran wrap.
Yeah.
Man, it made sense when people broke it down, but I'm like, that don't work. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I would say that's probably a couple of the craziest things I did, man.
If you were to give someone 2 pieces of advice to help them prepare for their weight loss journey, what would it be?
Can I get 3 principles that I live by?
I love it.
So faith, perspective, grind.
Okay.
You gotta have. I put faith first because you just have to start there. Like you gotta believe that it's possible. Because if you don't, it doesn't matter what work you do. It doesn't matter. You have to at least believe that it's possible for you for it to happen. Mm-hmm. And then perspective, just realize that you didn't get this way in 3 weeks, so it's not gonna happen for you in 3 weeks. You know what I mean? You have to keep things in perspective and realize that maybe this is your first year, but you know what I mean? It takes a while for the transformation to take place. You know what I mean? Perspective is just everything for me. Mm-hmm. And then grind. You got to put in the work. Nobody can do that for you. You have to make the sacrifices. You got to be willing to say no and say yes to yourself. You got to be willing to put in the hours, or not hours, but you got to be willing to put in the time at the gym and make the healthy choices in the outside of the gym. You know what I mean? Monitor your sleep and things of that nature. So man, that's where I'm at. Faith perspective.
I like that. All right. Did you ever deal with binge eating?
Oh yeah, I definitely ate my emotions. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, I definitely ate my emotions. There's a eating and eating, drinking, using drugs and like that, they all are synonymous with one another when you're experiencing things like depression, anxiety, and things like that. So they can make you feel better. It releases serotonin and things like that. So I would definitely, eat when I didn't necessarily feel the best or feel confident, and then try to justify it with the, well, I'm happy, you know what I mean, or it makes me happy, or things like that. So yeah, definitely I would binge eat.
Do you still deal with any sort of binge eating? Or has that something that you got that under control 100%?
I would say, I definitely eradicated that. Yeah. I mean, I try to treat myself, you know what I mean? Yeah. And maybe I need to do a better. Honestly, I feel like I'm on the opposite side where I feel like maybe I need to do a better job of treating myself. Because I need more balance. Because I feel like I'll look at him like, nah, I'm good. But, and that could be, mental thing where I feel like maybe I'm still, like I said, still battling with the whole thing of like looking at myself as Fat Jeremiah because I don't want to go back. Yeah. But
so
yeah.
It's fear. So it's still
right.
fear.
I mean, yeah, I think that, and it's a constant. I think that's what people don't realize about the whole weight loss journey and the personal development side. It's an ever growing thing. Like you can't. There at no point do you get there. Like you got to keep developing, keep working towards it, and until you can't anymore. You know what I mean? Until like your breath leaves you.
Until you die.
Right.
Because maintenance is just as challenging as weight loss.
Right, it's one thing to get there, but it's a whole nother animal to stay there. It's a whole nother animal.
Absolutely. So like the binging thing, because I transformed, I guess, in 2013. So that was my year, right? And I just now got the binging under control, probably the last year. So I struggled with that for a while. Even after I lost a lot of weight, I still would find myself, I wouldn't say it. Binging sounds aggressive. I would eat 10 cookies.
Right.
That's a lot.
Right.
But I've heard binging stories where people like really put away some food, bro.
Right.
Like luggage. Right. So it wasn't. It's never been that bad for me. But up until last year, and still at times, when I don't feel my best. But see, now I got to the point now when I'm recognizing that an emotion is causing a desire to eat or to drink, I try to divert myself. But the awareness was very key for me. Because I didn't have that awareness before. It was kind of subconscious. Right. If I felt hungry, if I felt depressed or anxious, I would automatically grab something to eat.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, all right, so a big part of why I'm pretty sure both of us lost weight is we were self-conscious. We didn't like our bodies, right?
No doubt.
Do you still struggle with body image issues? Do you still feel like you're subconscious?
In some areas, yeah, man. I would say because there's always the possibility to do more, be more, have more, things like that. So am I at my best? Can I, should I be trying to, go further? I think sometimes, man, that survivor's guilt. I don't know if this kind of is in the ballpark, but feeling like you did it. But you notice, how can I enjoy me doing it when I know there's other people who haven't done it? You know what I mean? Or other people that legit want to do it, but they are struggling with the same things I struggle with the whole doubt and insecurity and not knowing, if it was possible. So yeah, man, I just think that's a big thing for me right now. Like looking at it like, man, it sucks, but you want to help them. But you know what I mean? Like everybody has their own starting point and maybe they're not ready, but it just, but yeah, man.
That's the first time I've ever heard survivor's guilt connected to weight loss, because that's something I deal with too. Because I'm like you, I'm from a very impoverished neighborhood, and I done came up a little bit.
Right.
You know what I mean? So for instance, the other day, when the storm happened, I picked my family up and we drove down to the beach, to Pensacola Beach. Right. We were there for a week, and I remember the days when that wasn't even an option. Right. I gotta work. I don't have money. I don't have gas. My car is not gonna make it. Right. And the whole time, while I'm down there, I'm just thinking about the people who are stuck at home and they don't have that option. and I know this is kind of taking a left turn, but this is important. But that was an important connection because, yeah, that's real,
right.
you know, and that just shows your heart. That shows that you care about people.
Right.
But the best thing you could do is what you're doing right now, you know. Share your story with the world,
no doubt,
and just let people see that it's possible.
Right, man.
You feel what I'm saying? Because it is.
Right.
Neither one of us have any special ability that any person watching this
right. I
now,
just feel like, yo, we just people. You know, we need air, we need food to breathe, you know, everything like that to survive, just like y'all. So it's possible, no doubt.
So, bro, I appreciate.
Oh, no doubt, man. No doubt. I appreciate you having me.
I look forward to making some more content with you and seeing where this relationship can go.
No doubt, no doubt.
You inspire me, bro. Like,
I appreciate it.
Seriously, man. And the world needs to see more than just me telling them this stuff. You know, they need to see that it's a lot of people out here who have done the things that they're setting out to do.
Right.
You know,
right.
You just gotta rewire. You know. The mindset.
That's where it all starts, bro.
It's all up here.
If you can win this, you can win the rest of it.
Straight up. All right, so I appreciate you guys for watching. Please give the video a big thumbs up.
Okay.
Subscribe to the channel, go to brixfitness.com, and stay tuned for the information about the 1,000 transformations.
Let's go. I'm
gonna start qualifying people for that, because I think that's something that can change the world, bro. Because we spoke about it before. But anyway, I appreciate y'all. Peace.
All right,